Hey everyone, this is Roxor. Today we're gonna take our little buddy from the middle of the map into the harbor. That is an area of the map that I have not visited yet. So I'm sure you've seen that already. Things go not as planned, so that is quite an interesting experience which is upcoming here. But first let me set up my little DE2 train, checking here why I can't move, and I thought that I had released the handbrake, but then I see the blinking lights and I see now I closed the handbrake and now I see, okay, I have to open it actually, so have not learned anything. You've heard a little bit of wheel skip here. Try to do it as easily and smoothly as possible, because it is raining, as you can see on the outside. We start in the night and drive into the very morning. And what I have to do here is I had a little check beforehand how I would go around the best way. So this is why I'm already braking here, setting the handbrake, because I need to turn around. I need to turn the little engine around, and I had a little look beforehand how to do that, and I think the most sensible way doing that in this thunderstorm and lightning conditions is to do that on one of the switches, which is right at the back here, where I just pointed the little VR pointer to. And then obviously, because of safety issues and regulations, you know how it is. If I go into the other direction, I need to use the correct lighting. So this is why I switched on the white lights now at the end. So I'm just gonna move back the locomotive to be able to turn it around and then go in front of the cars that I need to pick up. And all this under not very nice circumstances, and as you can hear pretty clearly, it's raining very strong in the virtual worlds, and it's thunderstorming and lightning all the way. So very, very carefully here, moving onto one of those rotating platforms so that I can turn the little engine around, to checking that I have the whole car on that platform, and just have to turn it around now, which is a quite interesting thing in VR, because that feels so cool to move those things around. There's a sense of weight in the thing, and then it will snap into place when you do have the correct angle, which it did here. So I've now turned around the engine. Now I have to go backwards so that I can pull into the correct direction when I move out of this train station. So again, it's raining. It might be that I do have a little bit of a wheel slip. Don't have that right now, but I try to be very careful with that so that I don't overheat anything before we actually start the voyage to the harbor, which is an interesting area. I've read a little bit about the area, and I've understood that there are also many contracts available, which is also an interesting perspective. I mean, as you've already seen most probably in my starting video that I published a couple days ago, is that I try to travel only by train, not by fast travel, and that is why I don't want to go directly to the harbor and pick up anything else. I just want to go there with my own locomotive and then pick up anything that is right in front of me. Okay, so moving back here, right in front of the signal, trying to brake as smoothly as possible so that I don't slip in any way, shape or form, and you just heard that little buzzing. That was actually wheel slip. That is the train telling me that we don't have grip right now, so I might use sand or might use the lever, and this is what I'm doing, just using a little bit of sand after I switched the backlight back to red because of obvious safety and regulations. Now switching off the lights here so that I can see a little bit better to the outside, using the lightning of the thunderstorm to really understand where I need to go, and just moving forward very slowly. I do have in the back of my head the idea that the middle track should be free if I want to move in front of the delivery that I need to pick up. So this is why I'm just checking that every signal is set up in the right way. And I checked beforehand briefly. I think I'm able to move around here on the very right hand side. Again, no person inside in this virtual world. No one is here, no one available. No one is waiting for any trains, any pickups, no persons. It's very many buildings here, but it's very empty. It's very empty world. People tend to stay at home or maybe take their cars and not use the train at all, aside from me, obviously. So running through the track where you might pick up a couple people here, and then for the first time ever, I use the wiper because there's a bit of rain, and to get rid of that, obviously we need to do a little bit of wiping and use that very device to get clear sight. So moving forward here, I just need to go right in front of all the signals, that I go into the right track and can position myself right in front of the items that I need to transport to the harbor. And just checking here that I'm on the right split. Just move a little bit further down the road, a little bit of brake already being applied so that I don't overshoot the goal that I have. Again, I'm just using the very basic licenses that I got from the tutorial. Oh, by the way, you just saw briefly another alert for wheel skipping there. No, but I am using still the license that I got after the tutorial, still collecting a bit of money, and want to decide what I should buy afterwards. There are a couple of different opinions on that, what is actually the sensible way to go forward. So I would be very interested if any of you would have an idea what I should pick up as the next license. Leave a comment, or if you want to criticize how my driving is, please also let me know what I should do differently. As you are most probably aware, feedback is highly appreciated, and I'm now just checking if all the signals are lined up in the right way, and it looks that way, so I can move back to the locomotive. Just trying to get the right switch here that I can switch on the correct lighting going to the other direction, going backwards, releasing all the brakes, and now give a little bit of power that we can go smoothly back into the yard. Also apply a little bit of sand here so that I give my little chugger Nordic a bit of grip, that we don't slip too much, because I really would like to get started here. It is always a good idea to then get the cars that you need, couple them, and go ahead. But I really would like to avoid any fees or any penalties. This is why I'm approaching, I think, on a good enough rate with right about 20 kph, but already applying a bit of train brake just to slow the car down, just to ease my way into the yard and not to overshoot anything, just to get everything lined up bumper to bumper. This is what I'm trying here. Again, very lightly going into the next notch. That's actually a very interesting thing if you use VR, and most probably also in the non-VR version, there are actually notches when you use the brake, so it's not a free-flowing kind of lever, but it's there are different notches available, and that is a quite interesting sensation. If you use that in VR, it gives you a very good sense that you might be now in the second or third notch, and that you might need to apply a little bit further. You take it down a little bit. It's pretty cool feedback, pretty well done for the lever. All right, but now back to the coupling. But first, as a professional train driver, which I am now, obviously, gonna check the numbers of the cars against the numbers that I do have on my order, and it looks good. This is the correct setup of cars that I need to connect to the train. Just checking everything here. That's such a cool sensation to use that in VR. Need to grab a few items, connect that together, click a thing here or there, and I'm impressed how bright the lights are right in front of me. Now I'm not sure if I really open up the brakes there, so we'll see that in a minute. This is the handbrake that I'm releasing so that we actually can move the cars, and this is quite interesting. There's this, I haven't seen that yet. There's this red grip, this red toggle that most probably can be used to do something on that car, and I haven't seen that yet. Now I'm checking where I need to go, so you see that I'm right on the top of the map, and I need to go to the south, to the harbor, and I'm just checking any signals. Elevation is just something that you can see when you're riding, so I don't know that yet. Just checking signals. I see where I can refuel if I need to, which I have never done before, but I check it anyway, because why not? And then I'm ready to depart. And this is now quite interesting. I think, if I saw that correctly, if you saw that correctly, let me know. I think I forgot to open up the train brake valve. So we do not have, there we go, a starting honk. We do not have the valve open that we actually can use the train brake. This might be important later. Alright, so here we go. Starting the train going forward into the night, and from the north of the map, whilst I'm impressed by the lightnings that you do have here in the environment, and the thunders, I have to admit, are pretty loud. If you not expect the lightning coming up or the thunder coming up, it startled me here or there, I can admit. Once I check that everything has been aligned correctly, I move forward, just checking from the outside that everything is moving along quite nicely. It works fine. Back into the train we go and set up everything so that we can move the roundabout 30 minutes, which would take the whole trip down the road, which I have cut out a bit, so we'll just focus on the start and then obviously at the harbor section. So everything as usual here. I'm trying to get things up to speed, pull the lever a little bit, just one locomotive. I think everything that I do have in the cars is empty, if I see that correctly. And then I check again where I need to go in the harbor and get set up. Maybe I should tell future me that I also need to check once and again that if I see any restrictions on the speed, because if I just look outside like here, or if I look on any things on paper, that might obstruct my view and I might be too quick. But anyways, this is now moving slowly into the right direction, and I'll give a little bit more power to move forward. But now, as you can see, we are already very, very close to the harbor. Again, this is an area that I haven't traveled yet. Everything that was beforehand was without any hiccups or any problems. And remember, I think I haven't connected the train brake, so what I just did there, the lever that I pulled, might not be that helpful. I might not brake that much, but I don't see that right now. I think that was an oversight. I didn't see that at the time. Actually, I just saw that here in the recording that I might not have applied now any brakes. So I'm just checking the signal that I'm set up in the right direction, and now I very briefly see, because I'm setting a little bit more of the brake, now I very briefly see, whoa, it's actually 40. And as you can see here, I'm right about 60. I try to brake very hard. I pull all the levers, try to push things forward, try to give it a little bit sand. I'm way too quick, and then it happens. I derail the train. The first time. Dang. And this is a warning honk to everyone who might follow. The game taunts me a bit. That is my first derailment, and that I should not be concerned. But I now switch everything off. Let's see how the damage looks like. Alright, now obviously also switch off the lights, and now have a look onto the outcome of this devastating blow. And I think a self-made blow. I mean, one of the things that I did not respect was most probably the correction from, I think it was from 70 to 40, so maybe I didn't brake quick enough, but then also I think I did not connect the train brake, and as such it did not work at all. But fortunately I do not have any additional licenses yet, and that seems to allow me to bring things back to normal without having to pay any fees, aside from the damage to the cars, which will most probably reduce my outcome and the results that I can get from the mission. Alright, so just trying to reset everything here, setting everything back to the rails, and now I have to connect everything back, and just setting the remote back to the switch function so that it's ready when I need it the next time. And now I'm just thinking, first of all, it's like 46% of the integrity for this car. So right above half of the whole car was damaged. Now I'm setting the handbrake. Actually, that is what I'm thinking. I think I set now the handbrake, but I think I released it, because I think there is an auto handbrake situation that it automatically sets up the handbrake when a derailment occurs. But anyways, we're now trying to push with the locomotive against all the other cars so that I can connect everything back together. You see now that I do have set up the handbrake here, so might get a little bit too quick onto the cars, but this is my idea how I want to connect all three of them. My idea was now that the last one has set up a handbrake. Now I do have a bit of wheel slippage. Trying to do this again. I think I'm already set fine here, and my idea is now that I push everything together with a little bit of power, set the brakes, and then do the whole procedure again for the cars. Now again, I wished I didn't need to do this. This is how things sometimes work out, and let's see now that I open up the valves correctly for the train brake, which would be a good idea, I think, going forward. I can only recommend that. So opening on the car and on the locomotive. The first one is clear, the first one is connected. That looks fine. And now we're moving into the next connection. Connecting the cars together, screwing the screw, taking the pressurizer for the brakes, opening up on car 1, on car 2. Everything seems to be set up fine. And now for the last one. So bringing this together, you know the procedure already. And this is what I forgot when I started the train in the beginning area. Now I think I'm already set up. Now I'm thinking now, oh no, wait. Need to release the handbrake. I can only recommend that you release any handbrakes before you go further, because I guarantee that the speed will be much, much higher if you use such a thing as a released handbrake in stark contrast to a set handbrake. So I'm setting the right direction, releasing the brakes, might check for the blinking lights for the handbrake, and now I see I don't have the switch on. Now I think, okay, I need to release the handbrake here. No, still blinking. No, I'm confused. I thought I have released all of them. Looking at this one here, thinking. Right hand side means, oh, that is actually set. Second one is set. And the third one was actually released. So I did it the other way around, as I'm seeing now. Still should be blinking because I think I set the one in the locomotive. It is still blinking. Now I'm thinking, wait, oh, forgot that one. Okay, gonna release that one. And then I'm ready to move forward. Doing this very carefully because just derailed, and with the power of my own muscles and some magic devices, everything is back on track. I'm just checking that everything is rolling. I'm trying to jump back on the locomotive. Miss the perfect jump back into the locomotive, but now I'm set and everything can continue as planned. And the funny thing is, this corner right in front here, where we have to go 40, that is the last one before our destination. So we derailed right at the front door of the destination that we needed to go to. Unfortunate, but that is how it is sometimes. And for me, actually, the first time, so that was quite an experience. I would recommend to always connect the pressure hoses for the brakes so that you don't do the same thing as me, and then maybe also don't go as quick as me into the tunnel right before the harbor. But anyways, just a couple left and rights, very small corners here to go into our destination. And I'm still a little bit shocked that I derailed my first train now, so that I don't think about any other things than to check directly for myself how the harbor looks like and where I need to go. And I haven't been here before, so it's quite an astonishing thing to see, I have to say, with the harbor area and the several tracks, the cranes, the buildings. It looks pretty cool. It's a pretty cool area. Alright, so let's have a look. Where do I need to put the thing? Again, going into the wrong direction. This is for coupling, and uncoupling is for D4I. Okay, and having a look. Need to go here to the harbor, and I see that D is just on the top track there, and then around the right, as you've seen. I've briefly shown there. So I'm checking here. That might be the first signal I need to go. Okay, I'm gonna take that one to the left, and then we'll set up everything as we need. As the baby is crying in the background. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that I'm on the right track here. Just moving into the area where I need to go, and I'm thinking, wait, there should be a signal to the left. There's only a signal to the right. Am I actually on the right track here? And surprise, surprise, just give it a couple seconds. Obviously I'm not. See now that I need to go to the track on the left-hand side. I check the layout again because I'm wondering, what did I not get right here? And then I see, oh, okay, the orientation of the map is what I didn't get right here. Very tricky to understand. And to see that, yeah, this is the track I need to go where I'm going over right now. This is D4I. And I see that I need to move backwards and then go into the right track. So again, as per usual, I'm just setting everything up nicely that I go into the right direction. I see how far I have to backtrack. There's quite a bit that I need to move backwards, but then I'm sure, I'm confident that everything will be fine after I've done that, releasing the brakes, honking the horn, going backwards, and then I'll push my cargo back into the direction that I just checked to go over that signal that we just seen, and then move forward into the correct area in this cool harbor town, which has a couple cool sites, a couple cool things that are available here. But I'm more concerned now about the delivery of my items. Lost already precious time with the derailments and also money, obviously. So the high score will not be met today. That will not be the case. But I'm still trying to deliver the best as I can with the remaining things that I have. So then first of all, I'm gonna brake here right before the signal, that I can move into the correct direction, setting up everything, going to the left, releasing the brakes, giving it a little bit of power, not too much so that I don't have wheel slippage, and it's now accelerating. This is why I'm standing, because I had the feeling I do have a little bit of slippage, and that is why I spent a little bit of sand on the tracks. Alright, so going forwards, now into the correct direction, which I now see on the top-down layout map that I have right in front of me. And just checking again that I'm set up correctly. The 4i is the destination I want to go to, and the signals are also set up in the right way, so everything seems to be looking fine. Moving forward a little bit here, honking the horn because it's an harbor area. You have to be careful, you have to think about the other people. It's quite a dangerous area. People might be hopping through the cars. You'll never know. You're not sure what might happen, and that is why you need to use the horn. Just looking outside here, just to see how far back the train goes. It's only 3 cars. It's not very long. Looking to the left-hand side, that's quite a lot of cars that are standing there. For me, it's only 3, so I'm just gonna brake now, then shut everything off, bring everything into the parking positions, set everything upright, as you know, from flying, and then release everything that I have connected now with the correct train brake connectors. Setting the handbrake first. And here you can see 46.5% are still left from that vehicle. Second one is 88%. Third one is 100%. That was not involved at all in the whole crash. But the first 2 cars, they were heavily involved in that situation, and we'll see what that means for the payout. Alright, disconnect everything, pull the thingy from the other thingy, and then I'm just gonna check where actually the office is. I'm gonna take my map with me, and I think I briefly saw that there is an office in the area I just went through. And now going back to the page, exactly right next to the D line, as you can see here in the middle of that little screen grab, there is an office, and this is where I want to go now to see actually how much profit we'll make, if any at all, which would be surprising to me because that was a devastating derailment. But anyways, let's check that. Put the order into the machine, get the results, check the cash, which is around 11,700, and have a look into the completion form, 11,788. Get a little bit of a time bonus, and then you can see here my insurance will most probably cover this. It's 24,722, and I made 11,788, and I just need to pay, I think, $100 to cover the copay. And here you can see the results, how much I need to pay per wagon, how much every car is damaged, and what the impact for the products were. But then that's it. I'm gonna pay my copay, so that I'm set up for the next round, that I can go from the harbor to the next destination. Most probably again a destination or maybe away. I haven't used that. Paid my copay, and that's it. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed watching, consider subscribing. Leave me a like, leave me a comment how you enjoy this, if you play DERAIL Valley at all on your own, and I'll see you next time.